Hello, everyone. It's Jerry at the Fledge. Welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. I'm up in my office in the Fledge today again, and I've got my headphones on. I've got brown hair, brown eyes. I usually wear a t-shirt, but I had to dress up for Leap today and the one and all pitch competition that ran from noon to about 1:45 today, and there's another one tonight at 6. So watch the Fledge's Facebook page. We'll be promoting that, and go out and watch. The one that just happened was 11 entrepreneurs. The one tonight will be 12 more entrepreneurs. So go see how they pitch. And remember, 99 problems, but a pitch ain't one, every Friday at 9 a.m. So we're going to jump right in with Chelsea, our new friend. How you doing today, Chelsea?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I am doing great. So where are you at today?
I am right outside of DeWitt in Waukusta.
Yeah. So, I was a wrestler for most of my childhood and through college, and I always see medals, and I see you have some medals behind you. Yeah. What's that all about?
I am a runner. I'm actually a long distance runner. So I've done a handful of half marathons, tons of 5Ks. I trained for my first full marathon last year. Got all the way through the training, and 2 weeks before the race, they canceled due to COVID. So I was kind of devastated because the training is very, very intense for a full marathon. It's a lot of hard work, sweat, tears. And then here I am now. I'm actually going to find out this Thursday if I make it into the Chicago Marathon. So I'm super excited for that one. And go from there. It's good. Runner, we always need something to work for.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. Let's talk about you a little bit. Tell us about you, like where you were born and raised and went to school and all that.
Okay. So I was born in Lansing. I lived there until about 5th grade. And then that's when we moved out to DeWitt. And then I've been to DeWitt ever since. And my kids now, I've got a 14 and 15-year-old, and that's where they go to school. And it's kind of DeWitt for life. But like my childhood, everything from my childhood up until now is basically what has shaped me and started my mission to kind of where I'm at and where I'm headed. So even just growing up, I lived with my dad. He fought really, really hard to, battle custody for my sister and I. He won, and being a dad, working full time, extra full time to take care of 2 daughters was a lot. So he was hardly home. And
so did well, first of all, you said you were in Lansing till 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to school at Bingham Elementary, and I don't even think that school exists anymore. I'm pretty sure that Sparrow took it down and they have something built there.
So the Fledge is on the corner of Eureka and Holmes.
Yeah.
And Bingham used to be on the corner of Bingham and Holmes, or Bingham and Eureka?
Right on Eureka, right across the street from what we always called the Wall.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
That's, the Fledge is there too, right?
No.
That's exactly where we are. We stare at that wall and think, we're going to paint that. We say it every day almost. So, yeah. You must have been within a block of us then.
Yeah. So. I lived it was a red duplex right across the street. So.
All right. So, tell us about your project that you're working on, your business.
So what I am working on is personal development coaching. Right now I am currently health and fitness coaching, and I started doing that just a couple years ago when I hired my first health and fitness coach. And I was just kind of looking for fixing myself, looking for happiness, and I kept looking for the next best thing. And then that's when I realized that it's actually within and not on the outside. And that's when I started diving deep into personal development, mindset. I've had a handful of mindset coaches. I'm currently in a mindset coaching academy. Mm-hmm. And this way my mission is to really help women feel confident in who they are and who their authentic self is. Because a lot of times we just push it down and bury it and try to pretend to be somebody that we don't want to be. My mission is to really help basically break the shackles of our past and move forward and be the person that we want.
That phrase, that word, mindset, I think it's one word. Mm-hmm. we hear that a lot right now. Whether it's something related to COVID or something related to social justice.
Mm-hmm.
When you are running and you said you never did a full marathon, but I'm sure you've run 26 miles or more before. Is that true?
Not in one
Not
run.
in one thing? Okay. During that struggle of that run, right? Because it gets exhausting. When does mindset just take over and you decide
It's
you're going to
really
finish?
tough. I mean, one thing that really helps get me through is just practicing gratitude while I'm running, and I get to that basically hit that wall. My first half marathon, I did it with an injured foot, so it took a lot of mindset to really push through and pull through. And when I first was training for it, I had set out a goal for running that half marathon in under 2 hours, but you're not supposed to set a time goal for your first race. But I did, and I ended up injuring my foot 2 weeks prior, and it was tough. And I did it. I made it. It was about mile 8, and that's when I did not think I was going to make it any farther. And what actually had happened was I just kept telling myself, some people will never be able to run. And that's what kept powering me through. I had actually donated and was running for children with cancer. And that's what kind of kept me going. Like, I'm doing this for them. They may never be able to do this. They may never be able to run ever. And it's tough, but you really have to do it.
Yeah. So a lot of that translates into what you're doing with personal coaching, with all of it. How do you kind of communicate that to your potential customers, or how does that experience translate into even your business that you're trying to build?
Well, I mean, everybody has their own blocks. It's different for every single person, so it's really hard to answer that question because you
Okay.
really have to like dig through and just I don't really know how to answer that, I guess.
So Barbells and Sage. I don't know if we actually said that. Let's make sure we say that. There's a Facebook page for that? Have you
There's
started
not a
that yet?
Facebook page for that yet.
Okay.
I do have an Instagram.
Okay, an Instagram page. So, if I'm a client, well, first of all, do you do male and female clients or
Yeah.
just female? So, if I'm a female client, um, how's our relationship? What's that? What do you do for me? What are some of the things that you help me with?
The biggest thing is really helping you figure out your goal and like what is the exact goal, the outcome that you're looking to achieve, and why have you not been able to achieve that goal on your own in the past? Because a lot of times we have like this revolving cycle where we go after a goal, you hit a certain point and you go right back to where, the beginning. And there's a reason for that. There's, whether it's your strategy is just not working or you have some sort of mindset block, or I mean, even just a limiting belief where, your past creates your identity. And sometimes we get stuck in that, thinking somebody else tells us who we are and we get stuck in that identity. And it's a matter of really figuring out what that is and who it is that they want to be and what can we do to change that.
So, do you sit down and like interview me, or like if as an initial customer?
Mm-hmm. We do interviews and we do one-on-one coaching calls. And then whether your goal is really to just like lose weight and feel good like in your skin, or it's just wanting to remove some of the limiting beliefs from your past and move forward.
Yeah. Do you it's kind of a holistic approach then, right? It's not just the physical part, it's the mental part that goes with that.
It's all going within.
Do you use do you have an assessment tool that you use to um, figure that stuff out, or is it just your experience and you're just kind of talking like you and I are talking?
It's more, the experience, just kind of talking, interviewing, just kind of keeping it conversational is the biggest thing. I do have some set questions that I do like to ask. I have taken a mindset coaching academy where, we really go through like the right questions to really keep basically peeling back. I always like to put it in the sense of like an onion. We're just peeling back all the layers, trying to get to the core, to the root of the problem. What is the underlying problem?
Yeah, I use that metaphor a lot. I think peeling the layers away is a great metaphor. So this is how new is this endeavor? Like when did the barbells and sage part? Like when did that pop into your head?
That popped into my head a couple months ago. I've gotten really into like the metaphysical side and, you know, meditation and like manifesting, the law of attraction, all of that. And then you have the weight loss and the working out and all of that. I'm like, how can I tie the two together?
Yeah.
And just all of a sudden one day it was like barbells and sage, and I loved the way it flowed. And
Yeah. So but you were running the other part, kind of the other half of the equation before this idea popped up, and that you did that for how long were you doing that?
the health and fitness aspect,
Yeah,
I was doing
yes.
that for 1.5 years.
1.5 years. So right, you started out and COVID hits.
Yes, but it's all virtual and online. So it was actually perfect timing. I worked at the airport tavern before this. I'm
Okay.
actually there a couple nights a week now, but when I had left there to go do this full time, it's all virtual. It was all online even then. And then, you know, we've got clients all over the world. And then that's when COVID hit and everything shut down. I'm like, I'm still working full time. So I was really grateful for that.
Yeah. So you also work at the airport tavern?
Mhm. Yep.
One of my favorite steaks.
Yes.
Now I'm drawing a blank on Senadinus's first name.
Pete.
Is it Pete? I was going to say Paul real quick. Pete's brother and I, Jim, go
Yeah.
back a long, long way. So, what's been tough? Well, you were virtual right from the beginning. You came out of so you never planned on having a gym or anything like that?
No.
Oh, great.
There's an app for the workouts, and you know, you build the workouts to the client, to their goals, to, you know, the equipment that they have, and then it just uploads right to the app. They have their own section in it where, you know, nobody else can access it but them, and that's where they do all their workouts.
Did you feel like a genius when COVID hit and you were already resilient and prepared?
Yes, I was very grateful.
Yeah. Has there been anything tough about, I mean, obviously COVID's tough on all of us for a plethora of different reasons. What's been tough on you in COVID with your business side or whatever you want to talk about, really?
I think in all honesty, it's just like the social aspect, you know, I mean, yeah, it's all virtual, but I still would much rather be able to go into person and really have that face-to-face contact, and really just putting my business out there, really get, you know, rolling with that. Because currently right now with the health and fitness coaching, I work underneath one other person.
Okay.
Barbells and Sage is strictly me, personal development coach. But really just kind of getting that up and rolling has just been the toughest, knowing where to start, I guess.
Yeah. Where do you think you'll be face-to-face soon? What's your prediction?
I would like to be face-to-face. I mean, if I have local clients, I would much rather be sitting face-to-face and doing the coaching that way versus virtual.
Do you have any guess into when you think people are going to think that's safe or that it is going to be safe?
I'm hoping like within the next 6 months, like not sooner, but that's just my hopes.
I think my personal is September. I've always thought it was going to cycle around 18 months. And so I don't know. I go back and forth. I want to be optimistic, but I want to be safe too. So
absolutely. I actually got sick with COVID back in December.
Yeah. Was it bad or?
When I initially got sick with it, wasn't too terribly bad, but it lingered. So even getting back into workouts and running has been tough. I'm just now consistent with it again.
Yeah. Do you have any clients that were also dealing with COVID?
Oh, yeah. I would say probably 85% of our clients at one point in the last year was sick with COVID.
Wow. That seems like a high percentage, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, a lot of our clients too, they work in the healthcare industry.
Oh, okay.
I think that, you know, obviously they come in contact with it.
Yeah. So, I think you kind of stated your mission, but would you mind just kind of summarizing, or maybe even have a mission statement? What mission are you on, and do you have a different mission, you as a person and you as an entrepreneur?
So my mission for me as a person is just growth. Constantly growing, succeeding. And that's kind of my mission for others, is to help women really step into their authentic self, release the shackles that are holding them back, so that they don't have to feel like they have to be someone that they don't even want to be, and to build that confidence to be able to step out there.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It seems like a lot of pressure gets put on women
Mm-hmm.
from all types of areas in society. I mean, when schools started closing down, and um, you started looking at who's going to stay at home with the kids, I bet you
Mm-hmm.
90% of the time it was the mother, or it was the woman in the relationship. And I know there's fathers that are out there, like even you said, your father, who are single parents, or maybe was single parent for a while or whatever. But a lot of the burden fell on women. And
Yeah.
did you see that, or do you agree with that too?
No, I agree 100% with that. And I mean, I think a lot of times these women, they feel like they have to be somebody that they don't want to be. And it's, build that confidence. And like I said, a lot of it is just past, whether it started when we were kids or just kept building growing up. But just kind of that identity that gets put on us, and we build that belief and think that that's who we are. And that's really not who we are.
Yeah, there's a lot of social construct that needs to be reconstructed, huh?
Yeah.
So, what do you do every damn day to kind of push your mission forward?
I am constantly learning. So, like, I love to nerd out on mindset coaching. I love the whole personal development. I read books every single day for it. I meditate every single day. And yeah.
You got a good book to recommend to any of us?
I think one of my favorite books to really start off with is You're Badass from Jen Sincero.
I've heard of this book. So
it's a really good, fun, easy read.
All right. So You're a Badass, everyone. Check out that book. Have you ever, in your coaching, is there ever a moment where you see the epiphany that the other person's having, and it's like you see their switch start to happen? Mm-hmm. Do you have an example of that? Or, without getting personal, obviously, like what makes that happen? What happens when that happens?
It's actually really, like, I'm trying to think of a really good example, but a lot of times, like, we feel so overwhelmed when we're trying to figure things out, and all of a sudden it's like putting a puzzle together. And once you get that last missing puzzle, it's like the light switch turns on. It's like, oh, yes. And I mean, whether it be even clients right now that are looking to lose weight and they just can't get that last 5 pounds off, and they can't figure out why. And we're going through all of this and trying, changing their identity, because that's a lot of it too, is, we think that we're still our old self, and, who weighs 100 and whatever pounds instead of who we want to be. So we keep going back to that. And it's a matter of getting them to believe something different. And once it happens, it's like, holy crap, like there it is. It's so much fun. And, you'll get these phone calls or texts and they're like, oh my God, you were so right. Oh my God, this happened. And it's the best feeling.
And that's the best feeling for you, you mean, right? Yeah. Too? Yeah. It sounds rewarding. It looks rewarding. Your smile kind of gives that away, I think. So we daisy chain our shows together. And yesterday, we had a woman on the show named Kelsey, and the question she wanted me to pass to you is, what gives you hope?
What gives me hope? I think what gives me hope is knowing that others' lives are changing for the better, and that I'm helping to create that.
So that seeing that, and it just kind of motivates you to do more and more. And do you think humanity's getting better? Do you think we're getting closer to utopia?
I guess it just depends on the day.
Yeah.
Some days I'd like to think so, but then, other days something happens and it's like, well, there it goes.
Yeah. One step forward, two steps back sometimes.
Yep, basically.
So you get to pass a question on too. So tomorrow on the show, we've got John Mashney, who's an attorney with Foster Swift, but he also took the time during COVID to write a children's book. What question would you like me to pass to him from you?
The question to pass would be, why did he choose a book? Why did he choose to write a book and not do something else for your children?
All right. So I'm going to rephrase that question because I always ask my guests the question that they ask the next guest. But why did you do virtual in the beginning and not, out in a field not a field, a park or something like that? What made you go that route?
Honestly, because my coach that I hired years ago that kind of got me going down this, well, she did get me going down this path. She's the one who hired me, and she lives out in Hawaii, and everything that she has done was virtual, and she wanted to hire me to be one of her coaches.
Okay.
That's why. And I don't know, I kind of like sometimes hiding behind the computer screen.
So did you ever consider maybe a different way to help women get to where they get that mindset change or that physical change that they were looking for?
No.
This has been it?
This has really been it. And I think the reason being is because this is my biggest transformation. So I know that this is how I can help other women.
Yeah, we were just, I was just in a pitch competition where we were talking about really this almost exact thing, not the coaching part, but the transformation part and that persistence, and that if it worked for me, now I understand it better and I can start to provide it to others.
Yep.
So
you can't teach something you don't know. So
yeah. And sounds like you know this space really, really well.
Getting there.
Yeah. We've recently added a question, and it's a two-parter. What is happiness to you? And part B, are you happy?
So what is happiness to me? Happiness to me is, I want to say being content, but it's kind of the same word. Being in the present moment. Actually, I think that's really my answer, is just being in the present moment. And then, yes, I am happy. I've done a lot of inner work and shadow work. And
yeah. How do you stay in the moment with so many worries and so many things and being so busy? And what's one of the things that keeps you in the moment?
I am constantly taking just even a moment of taking some deep breaths, really starting to notice everything around me, being mindful and checking in with your senses. That's just something that has really helped me stay in the present moment and staying away from negativity. So, even when it comes to the news, I'm not somebody who watches the news. Social media, I stay off of first thing in the morning and late at night. So I'm not filling my brain with some of the crap that's on there.
You don't just wake up raring to get in a Facebook fight about something that you can't change anyway. So, how is the business going? Like, what are your next steps, I guess, is what I'm thinking about.
My next steps is what I really see happening and I've been working on is creating a website, and I want to start doing courses. So really helping to teach women how to start the personal development journey, help them really start setting the goals and getting crystal clear on their goals and becoming aligned with it. And then really just kind of branching from there and doing more courses.
So if somebody that was watching this or that watches this later today or this weekend or whatever, how, if they wanted to hire you, how should they do that right now?
They can reach out to me via Facebook, Chelsea Reinbold.
All right. So is it okay if I put that there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or actually, I'm going to save it till right after we publish, and I'll put it in the bigger comments. Okay. Your Instagram too. Can they reach out there, or is that a good place to learn more about what you're doing?
they can reach out to me on Instagram as well. That's where I do a lot more stuff with the Barbells and Sage and really just kind of keep everything. I like to keep my Barbells and Sage business right there on Instagram. My Facebook is me personally, and it's also the health and fitness business that I work for as well on that one.
Okay. And is there anything you need from anybody out there? Like, do you need customers? Do you need anything?
I mean, we always need customers, but
Yeah.
I think just the support, even if it's a follow or friend request, support is always the most helpful.
Okay. Did we forget to talk about anything that you wanted to talk about today?
I don't think so. I think the biggest thing is that, the biggest message is just knowing that your past does not define who you are.
And there's always time to change, no matter what, right?
Write your own story.
Yeah. And, I really like the part of your mission that, people are they're not who they want to be. Mm-hmm. And I think that is the cause to so many social ills. I mean, it's substance use problems, whether it's drugs or alcohol, it's relationship problems, whether it's abusive or being a victim or a survivor. I really love the mission that you're on. Absolutely. I think it's very noble.
And I was, I was one of those people too for a lot of my life. I was in a domestic violence relationship. I, partied all throughout high school, partied after high school. And, you try to almost like you're numbing who it is that you really want to be. And then you get stuck into these traps. And a lot of times people don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah. And if it's something like alcohol or drugs like that, it can be, you're not in the moment, and being in the moment is one of the most important things to get you out of it. And it's really cyclical and tough. So, and sorry if I don't know, I mentioned something if that was okay or not.
Yeah, totally fine. But I'm an open book.
Yeah. So, that must be pretty motivating and satisfying too, right? Mm-hmm. Is to kind of spread that cure you found.
Yeah.
Is it a cure?
What?
I said cure. Maybe it's not the right word.
It kind of goes.
All right. Maybe methodology or something. So what do you want to take us out with? And you can this could be to all the women out there. It's Women's History Month. I think you deserve more than a month, just like Black History Month deserves to be bigger than a month. So, in a lot of ways, the things, American history is women's history. Women's history is American history. What would you like to take us out with, though?
I really just would like to take you out with just, your past is not who you are. And I mean, your past builds you to who you are, but it doesn't have to be your identity, and you choose otherwise.
I really love that. All right, everyone. Find Barbells and Sage on Instagram. Reach out to Chelsea on Facebook. A new website will be coming soon. And you'll be getting into, right? You said a website will be coming, right?
Yep, I'm working on it right now. So.
All right. Thank you so much, Chelsea. I really appreciated getting to know you on air today.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Every damn day at 2 p.m. And we will see you later. See you later, Chelsea. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.